You are tuned in to Listen in 3D, episode number 7. I'm your boy, Justin Reed, aka Too Tall for You Fool.
And I'm Netta, aka Wondrous Net.
And together we are Team 3D, Listen in 3D, where we discuss, dissect, and debate the music in the world of hip hop and other genres. If you're liking what you see so far, give this video a like, give us a comment, share it around, and most importantly, subscribe. If you want to help us out even further when you subscribe, ring that ring that notification bell or click that notification bell. That way you get a notification on when all our videos go live. We're going to be rolling. We're going to be coming to you with episodes every Wednesday as of right now at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 3 p.m. Eastern. Once we get some more episodes on our in our backlog, we'll start doing some episodes on Saturdays as well. So definitely be on the lookout for that. Um, Without a further ado, Netta, how's your week been going?
I can't complain. I can't wait for next week. I'm off all next week. What about you?
Well, I've been off for a bit this week. Unfortunately, I've been stricken by the big COVID yet again, so I'm recovering from that.
Oh,
Yeah. um, it sucks. I mean, I think it's my third time having it now. Have you had it yet or not?
I had it early 2023 was my first time getting it.
Oh,
It
yeah.
sucked. Yeah.
Yeah, it does suck. I mean, I'm getting through it
Do
though. I
you
mean,
have bad symptoms?
just sore throat, and really just like a stuffy nose, like lot of nasal congestion. If anything, just feels like a regular cold to me. I'm bracing myself for when the coughing starts, so I got some cough medicine ready for when that starts. But I'm not gonna let the big COVID stop me from doing this podcast. What can I say?
Well, I do hope you feel better.
All right, yeah. Thank you. Yeah, it does suck. All right, so with that being said, what album are we discussing today, Netta?
So today we're going to be discussing Eazy-E's debut album, Eazy-Duz-It. It was released on November 23rd, 1988. It was certified double platinum. It had singles including Easy Does It, We Want Easy, Easier Said Than Done. There were music videos for We Want Easy and Easier Said Than Done. And it has had guest appearances featuring MC Ren, Dr. Dre, Ice Cube, the DOC, and DJ Yella.
All right, yeah. So a little bit about Eazy-E. FC is the founding member of Ruthless, well, of NWA, and of the Ruthless record label out of Compton, California. Just without him, I mean, many people consider him to be the godfather of gangsta rap, and for many people, this is like the best gangster rap album ever, according to some people. So, arguably, I mean, for me, I mean, we'll get into it in just a minute. Um, but I mean, of of all the Compton artists we've heard from so far, is he the best one you've heard? I'm just curious.
Um, I don't know if he's the best one, but I probably like him the best. I like his personality the best.
Yeah, he has a great sense of humor, and at the time of this recording, next week, so when this episode airs, it will have already happened. They are going to be honoring Eazy-E in the city of Compton with naming a street after him. So that will be exciting. So congratulations to him. It just really sucks that he's not living to see it, unfortunately. So, but I mean,
Is the street gonna be like named Easy E or by his government name?
no. It's going to be Easy Street. It's going to be the name of the.
Oh, okay.
All right. I thought I sent you the article after. Yeah, after the show. I'll definitely send you the article more read so you can read more about it and how it came about. But it's gonna be very good time if you're a Easy E NWA fan right now. Speaking of NWA, the guest appearances on this album, all of them, with the exception of the DLC, were members of NWA. So, um, with that being said, it was. I mean, they had Straight Outta Compton, and this. I mean, even though it was an Easy E solo album, you probably got the jits while you were listening to it that it was more of a NWA effort, if that makes sense. Wouldn't you say?
Yeah, there was like the one guy, MC Ren. It seemed like he was on almost every song. And I saw a lot of Dr. Dre, a lot of Ice Cube.
Hmm.
Yeah, there was a lot of people on there, but they all like were. I don't know if he actually was the star of NWA or whatever, but he appears to be the star. If he wasn't the star, they did a good job of making him the star.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. If you watch old videos, I mean, everyone wanted to be Easy. Easy E was the man, in the late '80s, early '90s. Everyone. I mean, he was the one that got the label going and everything, and that's who everyone wanted to be during that time. At least coming out of the West Coast, Compton, anyway. So, I mean, Easy E. I mean, it's a very interesting album. So, what were your pre-listening thoughts, your expectations going into this album?
I expected it. I expected for it to be like hardcore gangster rap. Um, I probably expected it to be a little more serious than it actually was. All I've seen was the NWA movie and the old videos of
Hmm.
California gangsters. I was expecting some hardcore stuff. What were you expecting?
Well, when I listened to it, I was expecting. Well, I mean, I was a youth when I first listened to it. I mean, I was expecting a little more hardcore, but as we get into it, you'll see that not every song on here is super hardcore. As a matter of fact, there are a few songs that I don't even think has any profanity. So, I mean, and that's
Yeah.
how clever Ruthless Records was, I mean, and then even if you want to do even further research, I mean, I wouldn't recommend Easy E to a kid or anything. I mean, unless they're like really, really mature. But uh, there's even like a cleaner version of the album, like where what they used to do back then was they do one version of the album, a street version, and then they would re-record a clean version of the album. They didn't do this for all artists didn't do this, but some artists did. And today usually they'll just bleep out the bad words or whatever. But in some cases they would actually re-record songs like, huh, like yeah, some of them are actually pretty funny. Like if you listen to the censored version of a song we're gonna get into later, you'll be like, I guess that's as clean as it's gonna get. but but I didn't. But I mean, even though like a lot of people do rank it very high on their gangster rap albums. Not to say that I wouldn't consider it a gangster rap album. I just didn't find it too serious. But I mean, I guess memories
Yeah,
of yeah,
it was very lighthearted.
yeah. I mean, memories of the album I would have is just. I mean, it was his debut. I mean, I will be honest with you, it's not my favorite Easy E record, but I do have some like great songs on here that I like for the most part. But I mean, if you get into like his later stuff, I think he gets a little more hardcore. I mean, yeah, I think it's safe to say that. But I mean, a lot of people do consider his album high. And another interesting fact, it's his only full length LP that he released while he was alive. So everything else he released while he
Oh
was alive
wow.
was EPs, which we'll get into in some future episodes. And then he had that one straight off the streets of Compton, which was his last one, but that came out after he died. Oh, all right. So the artwork. What do you think of the artwork for the album?
I like the artwork. Particularly the sign they were holding up,
Oh yeah.
where it says, "This is the place to affix the stamp." I was like, what is that? And I looked it up, and it was a response to the Stamp Act that was
Oh.
passed by the British Parliament in 1765.
Oh wow.
where it made the colonists. It included a tax that required the colonists to uh, put all of their paper products through London and then attach a special stamp through it. And that's the thing that's actually on the album was a satirical ad to protest the Stamp Act. The skull and crossbones symbolize the death of the free press resulting from the passage of the act.
Hmm.
So I thought that was interesting, and it kind of did go along with the theme of the album, which was like, First Amendment rights. So I'm gonna say anything I want, kind of be a bit of a shock jock, you know. I thought it was a clever way to present his message. What did you think of the cover?
Well, I mean, I'm very impressed that you really looked into that stamp with the crossbones and everything because I didn't think of that at all. But I mean, you see him and the other members of NWA behind him, and I think the DLC might be in that photo as well. So I mean, you just see them. I mean, the only thing that kind of sucks is that they're all kind of blacked out except for the one on the right, MC Ren. But of like you were saying, of all the appearances, it seems like MC Ren had a play on almost every song. So, so yeah, that's MC Ren
Dang,
right
I'm like, is
there.
this his best friend or what?
Well, from my understanding, when before he started Ruthless Records, I guess MC Ren knew him. They were friends before the whole NWA thing. So I'm not sure if they all were,
That
but
makes
I
sense.
mean, but because I knew Dre and Cube knew each other, Dre and Easy knew each other, so it's like they all were connected somehow, some way. But I know how MC Ren got into the group was directly through Easy. He didn't. So all right. So let's see. What stood out to you, like listening to the whole album? Like any one thing in particular that you want to call out?
Um, really, I guess on one of the songs he says, "I'm just a gangster having fun,"
Hmm.
and that was kind of like the theme of the entire album. It was like, have you ever seen that news story where the kid is just like, "I want to do hood rat shit with my friends."
Oh no, I hadn't seen
It
that.
was like, I don't know, that felt like the theme of the whole album. Additionally, the
Yeah,
humor of the album,
he's a
like
he's a
when he
very.
starts out and
Mm.
he's saying,
Oh yeah, that really stood out.
somebody is saying, "I knew you from knee high," and then it was like, "He's still knee high." Um,
I
the
think
humor with which he approached lying about his age, I thought that was funny.
yeah, he did lie
Everything
about
he
his
said
age. Yeah,
was
he did.
just even the serious things, like I couldn't take serious. Like if he's talking about robbing or killing, I just couldn't take it seriously because it was such a playful tone.
Yeah.
Did anything stand out to you on the album?
Um, the prelude. I wish they had made the prelude different from the first track. When he says "Good evening and welcome to Easy's Playhouse," you stupid. Yeah, so, I thought that was funny, but they should have renamed it Easy's Playhouse. But I think if Easy E were still alive, he definitely would have gotten into like some kind of acting or something because he was, from what I heard, he was just a fun dude to be around. But I mean, aside from that, just lying about his age, and some of the songs were like real interesting. Just listening to them, and not too many preludes. I mean, maybe a little bit of MC Ren on some of the earlier songs like Ruthless Villains and Two Hard Mothers, but I mean, for the most part, I think everyone kills it on here. I mean, it's a album's a masterpiece. All right. So what was your favorite beat or beats that you liked?
It was the Boys in the Hood
You like the
beat.
Boys in the Hood beat? Okay. That's fair enough. For
I
me,
couldn't believe that wasn't one of the singles.
yeah, we are going to talk about that song, even if it's not one of our favorites. But It was a single off the NWA and the Posse album, so it was already out by the time it came out. This was actually like a remix version of it. So, I mean, I guess I probably could have put it as a single, but I know there was no like music video for it or anything like that. For me, it's kind of a tough one. I made a little cheat sheet here, but favorite beat I'm gonna go with is Radio. I thought that was a pretty unique beat. Um, and then
What stood out to you about it?
uh, the dun dun like the same tone, and then just it's a pretty unique song too. But I thought it was just a nice funky beat to get down to. But the production on here is fabulous. I mean, Dr. Dre. I mean, if you thought DJ Quick was ahead of his time, I think Dr. Dre was ahead of his time doing this in 1988. So, all right. So let's get into the singles. First single. Let's start with "We Want Easy." What were your thoughts on that?
I liked it. It was kind of like him. I think one of the themes of the album, which we want Easy reflects, is
Mm,
he's kind of answering questions that everybody's asking.
yeah.
So throughout the song, they're like, "Why you wear your pants like that? Why you be lying about your age? Why you cussing all the time?" He kind of taking that time to just answer all the questions, even if in kind of a cheeky way. I liked it. What did you think?
I thought it was definitely made for the radio to definitely promote the album. So it's one of the songs that I don't think has any profanity in it. I like the song. It's of all the singles, it is my favorite single. I'm not gonna lie to you about that. But um, yeah, it just just nice easygoing song. Just him answering questions and just letting them know like where he's from, all that stuff, and just it just sounds like a concert record. And then when you see the video, that's pretty much where they were, a concert. Well, he was in the jail, and then he jumps out of the screen. I thought that was pretty cool, but
Yeah, I was wondering. I'm like, is he ever gonna come out? Because he doesn't come out until there's like a minute left in the video, and he finally comes out.
yeah, he just broke through that thing. So I thought that was pretty cool. And then yeah, I mean, I wonder if it was actually at like a real concert or something. So, but it was. I
Well,
mean,
I was wondering the same thing. The crowd was very hyped. They were doing all their '80s dances.
mhm.
I'm
Yeah,
like, this looks like a real crowd.
yeah, it was a nice music video for that song, and definitely a great single. Any other thoughts on the music video for that song?
um, I liked how the jail inmates were dancing behind it.
Yeah, so yeah. I thought that was pretty cool how his fellow cellmates were just chilling there, and then yeah, it was a pretty wild video. All right, second song, we'll go with the other song that had a music video, "Easier Said Than Done." Thoughts on that song?
um, I just noted that he was just saying he had everybody thinking he was 15, and I
Hmm.
saw that he was telling everybody he was born in 73, but he was actually born in 64, I think. And I'm like,
Yeah,
Jesus, how did
64.
he shaved off like 9 years? That's insane, and people just bought it.
Yeah,
I'm like,
well, I mean,
that could have never happened in this day and age.
he had no facial hair, and he did kind of sound like he had that whiny voice. So, I mean,
Yeah,
maybe he could have fooled some people, but I mean, no, he was older than what he was really saying. So, I mean, yeah, he had those people fooled. So, I think for me, easier said than done. It was definitely. I mean, I like the beat to it. It wasn't one of my favorite beats, but it had a nice beat. I like that sample. I li- um, you know, just again, just him introducing just letting people know who he was and just going around. And then the video I felt was a little more just. It wasn't my favorite video because it seems like they went just like everywhere in that video, like from the club, and then they were like on Venice Beach at one point. They were like in a car, and yeah, easier said than
Was
done.
that Eddie Murphy in the video? Because I'm like, that sounds like Eddie Murphy, but I can't tell if it is him.
I'm not sure if he was in that video. I don't think that was him. I'm not too sure, but
I like the beat though as well.
mm. So yeah, I think I had a really good beat. Easier said than done. So, and I also like during that song too, where he says, "Dre is a doctor, not a lawyer. Dope MC, employer on ruthless, and that's my label." So I mean, thought that was a pretty nice verse there too. The second verse of "Easier Said Than Done."
I found it funny when he said, "I just gotta keep cursing."
All right, now we go to a single that did have some cursing. Or anything else you liked about the video before we go to the last single?
I did like when they had a girl dancing and they were saying, "But what if she's ugly?" And then they have like a cartoon
Easy come, easy go.
girl, and it looked like Cynthia from Rugrats, the doll.
Oh,
That was funny.
yeah. Man, that's where they got the idea for Cynthia because I don't even think Rugrats was on during that time. I think it came out. I think it premiered a few years later, but um,
Yeah, that was into the 90s.
yeah. So last single, Easy Does It. One thing about these singles I notice is it has Easy in all the titles. In all the titles of the song. We want Easy. Uh,
That makes it kind of confusing too a little bit.
yeah.
You
But
forget who's singing the song.
yep, Easy E. Easy does it. Easy's Playhouse. All right. But yeah, the last single, Easy Does It. I feel like that was a. One thing I liked about the song was definitely the beat changes. Like it goes into one tone, then it goes into another, and then the lyrics were pretty cool. For the most part. I like the beginning of the song. He was once a thug from around the way. I think it was Michelet singing that, and then
That's who that
I
was.
think it was Michelet. I could be wrong.
That makes a lot of sense. I was every time I heard it, I was picturing like a young child, but Michelet, I mean, her voice is about like a young child. But that was very shocking when he was like, "Bitch, shut the fuck up." I'm
Just the
like,
fuck.
what the fuck?
Yeah, that just comes to you like how humorous this album could be too. So, um, I mean, I also do like the first verse. Cause I'm a hip hop suckster. I used to be a muckster, and if you heard dope, man, you think I own a drugstore. Getting stupid because I know how. And if a sucker talks shit, I'll give him a beer. So I thought, yeah, and then just like the whole beat changes and everything, and then especially the third verse, it goes into like another beat that it's just like I said, Dre with the production, just he,
Yeah, I
yeah,
had that as a contender for the best beat to
uh,
Easy Does It.
yeah,
I
anything.
had to look up on that song the Gankin Zone.
Oh,
I looked it up on Urban Dictionary. It said a location in the jail where an inmate is easily jumped or killed by fellow inmates or guards without being noticed.
oh
I was
wow.
like, okay. And he said all his phone calls was in the Gankin zone.
Yeah, it's a gangster rap album when you hear lyrics like that. But I mean, I think of all the albums he did, this is his like his most humorous album. I mean, he shows humor like in his later albums as well. Like when you listen to him later on down the line, if you want to get more into his discography, but this is definitely like the funniest in my opinion. But even then, I think Straight Outta Compton, I think, was more serious than this album on a gang
Yeah.
level anyway, like gangster rap level.
And I think that's what I was expecting when I
Hmm.
was listening to this album. Like I'm like, okay, I know NWA. I think it's gonna be very similar to this, but this was very lighthearted.
Yeah.
On that song, I like when he says, "Eight balls sipping, the bitches are flipping. Slow
Hmm.
down, I hit a dipping, continue my tripping, hit my hitting my switches, collected from my bitches." It was just, it was nice. It reminded me of like Biggie.
Yeah. And the thing is, with him, he didn't write his own lyrics, but he was able to do it. And, just, I know sometimes Eazy appears on these worst rapper ever list or whatever. I don't know why, because at the end of the day, it's like he never wanted to be a rapper. So he kind of just ran with it after Dre convinced him to do it. Uh,
Yeah, I didn't know he was a contender for the worst rapper ever.
I know he showed up on
Uh,
some list that they had a while back, but I mean, I just pay it no mind. It's like, come on, show the guy some respect. Like a lot of people
yeah,
usually
I mean it
disagree with
is
it.
the entire album is kind of like boom boom pow boom boom pow, like that
Yeah,
old school kind of thing. But it's like I don't know, I give him a little grace because I mean it is like it's the beginning.
yeah, yeah, exactly. I mean, he got better over time. That's all I want to say.
Yeah.
All right. So what were your three favorite songs off this album?
I liked Boys in the Hood, No More Questions, and Nobody Move, with a honorable mention of I'm gonna break it down in chapter 8 verse 10.
Okay, okay. So, all right. We were very close. We were very close. Nobody move. No more questions. And then my third favorite I had is radio with We Want Easy and uh Eazy-Duz-It, but they were very close too, but I had to go with those. So let's talk about Nobody Move. What really stood out to you on that song? It's my favorite song on the whole album, by the way. But yeah, Nobody Move.
Well, usually my favorite songs are always the ones that take you through some kind of story, where you can picture what's going on. And this was one of those. And it was also, I don't know, it was like the juxtaposition of how playful he was being versus the things he was saying. I don't know. I took it very lightly. When it, when he does say like the F word against gay people.
Yeah.
He talks about the realizing a woman is a man, and then the cops are like, "Come on out," in words, and
Yeah.
it's just like I don't know. It feels like a fun song despite all of this crazy stuff going on.
All right, I gotta send you the clean version of the song. You're just gonna crack up. Like he does clean it up a lot, but when he gets to the, let's just say when he gets to the dude, when he finds out the dude's a man, let's just say he tried to clean it up as best he could.
I
uh,
can't imagine.
yeah, I mean, no, no, I'll look for it on YouTube. I'll send it to you. But yeah, I thought it was cool. Him and MC Ren walk into a bank or whatever. This is a stick up, everybody. Yeah, and then just sign up a security guard and empty your pockets and do it slow. Take everything you got and lay it on the fucking floor. Don't make me set an example today and blow one of you crazy motherfuckers away. I'm in a bank. Yeah, just and then I like the end of the song too, where um, I ran to the back and ran followed behind to a hell of a spot that was hard to find. The bank was fucked up. The shit was smoking, was screaming hostages, running and choking. And then I don't want to read the whole thing, but uh, getting away, but I was suddenly stopped at a point blank range by a motherfucking cop, and I hope they don't think that a lesson was taught. Yeah, I mean, the fact that he's just saying, like, well, I mean, not that I don't think he really encouraged people to go out and rob a bank anyway, but I think he was really thinking, like, well, don't think that a lesson was taught by doing that. So I thought that was just real funny. And the beat was cool. I like the sample that they did. Nobody move, nobody get hurt. Yeah, so it's my favorite song on the album. One of my favorite Eazy-E songs. And
The last thing I have to flag about that song is that the fact that the person that he realized was a man had the biggest titties he ever saw.
like I said, I gotta send you the clean version of that. It's funny. I think you'll be impressed. I like how we had two songs in common. So no more questions. All right, I'll start this one out. I love the fact that he's sitting down for an interview and then it just goes right into a song after Lee asks him a question. Ruthless, my style as a juvenile. I mean, it just shows like some of the humor that like he had, and just going running with that, and I would have to say one of my favorite verses on the whole album had to be that second verse when he takes it into a different tone, talking about how he's gonna break into a house. I thought that was
Yeah.
like, wow, like I mean, for a guy that didn't want to be a rapper, he sure learned quick.
I like that aspect of it also, how he's like super bombastic when he's talking about the situation where he goes to gank someone, and then he goes into talking about the breaking and entering, and he gets super quiet, and then he goes back to being bombastic when he
Mhm.
talks about the robbery. I
Yeah.
thought that was creative.
Yeah, it was definitely a good song. One of just I listened to it more and more. It's just like I didn't really like it too much when I first listened to the album, but a lot of the songs, well, yeah, a lot of the songs really grew on me over the years. So I would say definitely if you didn't like it your first time, definitely listen to it again. You'll find something funny. I think even if you don't like gangster rap music or profanity music or whatever, I think everyone would find something to laugh about um on this album. So I guess
Kind of along with the with nobody move at the end when he says, he hope he didn't he hope they don't think that he learned anything. On the No More Questions song, he says,
mhm.
I never listened to my mother. It went in one ear and out the other. Like,
Yeah, or
he's just a contrarian.
I like also another one he's saying in the third verse. I'm reading it now. Got my lyrics in front of me. I'm not like Robin Hood because I want more. Steal from the rich, hang with the poor.
Oh yeah, that was funny too.
Yeah, it seems like you really got a real kick out of this album.
Yeah, I found it really really funny.
All right. And then, of course, at the end, what's your real name? No more questions. Yeah, so all right, so well then now we'll talk about the single, well not single, the tracks that weren't our favorites. I guess we'll start with "Boys in the Hood." I've heard it a million times. I'm sure you've heard it at one point or another too. What do you like about this song, for the most part?
um, mostly the beat. Honestly, it was
Mm-hmm.
the beat, and I think it's kind of nostalgic too. It's probably one of the only songs on there that I actually remembered.
Okay.
The dum 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 that beat really got me. Um, I did. I hate to say that I like this, but I
Hmm.
like that he grabbed the woman by her weave and threw her at her father. I don't know. It's just so absurd. It almost takes away from the domestic violence aspect of it because it's just so absurd.
Yeah, her father jumped and he started to shout, so I threw a right across and knocked his old ass out. All right. But yeah, that was a good song. I mean, I would have to say it wasn't one of my favorites. I mean, don't get me wrong, Boys in the Hood is a very legendary song, but I mean, just I feel like, even though it was like his first song, I feel like he's done a lot better since then, but I mean, people, love to sing around to it, the lyrics. I mean, Ice Cube did a really good job on the lyrics to this song. And then, just talking about just a normal day in the hood, and I mean, I guess what wasn't normal to some people was normal to others. So, I mean, I feel that that was pretty cool. And then, but I mean, at the end of the day, it just wasn't one of my picks. I mean, it's like I said, a great song. Probably it'd be like number six if I were to rank all the songs. Because I thought Easy Does It and We Want Easy were better than that. And then not my pick for one of the best tracks, Radio. I like Greg Mack at the beginning. He was a DJ at the local radio station out here at the time, K-Day. Well, it's still around today. Well, it came back, but when they were just first getting going, he was the first guy that really gave him some radio airplay in the LA area. And then, the guy calling up, she was saying, "This is Lorenzo Patterson," who, if you guys don't know, his real name is that was really MC Ren. Yeah, I thought it was cool how he used his real name, and I want to hear Easy E's new record. He called the right station, and here it is. And then, just him, Easy E rocking nonstop on the radio. Uh, you know, Release some rhymes that you will find demanding with raised beats that are so outstanding. So, he really gave Ray his props, and I like how, like, during the course that, they were just taking calls in the studio, whatever. But yeah, I thought it was, when I first heard the song, I actually heard it on the radio. It wasn't a single, but you know how, like, years, like, after an album comes out, they'll just play like a song on the radio from an album. So I thought they were,
Honestly, I'm shocked. I'm shocked they didn't play it to begin with because
yeah.
I thought when I was listening to it, they went out of their way not to cuss, just not to play it on the radio.
Yeah, I mean, it was on the radio at some point. I don't think it was advertised as a single, but at least in LA radio, it was on the radio. But yeah, I mean, it probably could have been, uh, it probably could have been a single. They probably could have had a music video for it, if anything, but I don't know. Just, I thought, I thought it was a very well done song, a funny song. Him hanging up on people, and then that one guy at the end calling in late, and I'm calling to be on Easy E's new record, Radio. Man, you're late. The record is already old, and then just cuts out. But yeah, another song with no profanity, and just happens to be one of my favorite songs on the whole album, and it just comes to show you that just not all gangster rappers or just hardcore rappers in general like got to use profanity. I mean, they can do a verse without cursing or cussing or whatever you want to call it. So I felt like that was one of the things I really liked about it, and just the humor. But the whole album's just humorous in general. So, and then just
It is.
yeah, very very good. But honorable mentions for me in terms of best tracks: "Boys in the Hood," "Easier Said Than Done," and no, not "Easier Said Than Done." I get those songs confused. "Boys in the Hood," "Easy Does It," and what was the last one? I got the track list in front of me. Yeah, I think those were it. Yeah, those were my honorable mentions. No, no, we want easy. We want easy. Those were my honorable mentions. Yeah, so Easy does it. We want easy and Boys in the Hood. All right.
What did you think of the chorus on I'm gonna break it down because I found that to be the most bizarre chorus I've ever heard in my life.
I'm up.
They're like moaning and groaning and I don't know. It's like whoa.
Yeah. It's. I'm not gonna lie to you. I would probably. I didn't think too much of it. It wasn't one of wasn't one of my favorite tracks. But I mean, it was kind of a quick song too, from what I remember. That one and the last song, for that matter, Chapter 8, Verse 10. One thing about Eazy-E and his albums, like the last songs on his album seem to always be like out of this world. Like even if you listen to 5150, Home for the Sick, or It's On, I mean, those last songs were like, I mean, they're not, I don't know. It's just like, I always get into like the beginning, but when it gets to like the end, it's just, yeah, no, not going on my playlist. I'm just being honest.
Yeah, that very last one, it was like completely blasphemous, but it was
Mm,
funny. He's like chapter 8, turn to your Bible or turn to your easy book to chapter 8 verse 10. It's time to put niggas in check. I'm like, what in the world is he doing? He's
yeah,
giving advice for how to murder people better.
yeah, that
I
was
like how I do like how he said
the
he
beat
was
is the
asked
beat
why
is
I'm
pretty
like
catchy. I'll give him that much on the last song, Easy Chapter 8 verses 10. But I mean, but in terms of the song, I mean, it's not a song you'll hear me bumping every day. I guess you just. But anyway, album cuts. Any thoughts on the We Want Easy remix or the Still Talking remix?
um I don't know when I listened to it I didn't really even hear that much difference between
I know the
the
We
original and
Want
the remix.
Easy remix. I don't think they said anything in that like first interlude or whatever of the song. And then whatever was said in the first interlude of the original version, they put on the second interlude or something. I don't know. It was weird. And then I think Dre and Yella rapped a verse before the final verse or something. And then Still Talking. I like the beat a little better. Like the beat was remixed a bit better. Like if you listen to it, I don't know. I thought that was the difference I got. But in terms of, just I guess that first interlude, "Welcome to Easy's Playhouse" was not there. But I mean, those were my thoughts. But I mean, for those of you guys watching or listening, I mean, definitely check those two songs out. I mean, remixes are always fun, and people always have their opinions on remixes. Some people think it's better than the original. Some people like to think the original's better, but it's on the expansion, so check it out on whatever streaming service you like to listen to, or if you have the CD, get it. Also, if you do have the CD, 5150 Home for the Sick, his first EP, was at the end of one of them during one of the reissues that came out many years ago. Just letting you guys know that. All right, so recommendations. Obviously, we'll recommend two albums here. NWA, Straight Outta Compton. I mean, why wouldn't you recommend that one? A little more serious. And the DLC's No One Can Do It Better. So if you guys want some additional listening, check those out. And of course, Eazy's rest of his discography as well, his whole catalog. If you like this album, I don't think you'll be disappointed with the rest of his discography. All right. Before we go, any track that you didn't like on the whole album, or did you like them all? Did you think they're all solid?
The one that you liked, radio,
Hmm.
I didn't really care for it.
Yeah, I didn't really care for Chapter 8, Verse 10 too much. And then uh, I like how they did the drums in Two Hard Mothers, but it wasn't. I thought it could have been a little more colorful, if you know what I mean. But otherwise, I thought all the tracks were solid. Any of these songs that you're taking back to your playlist?
Um,
I know you're taking something back with you because you of all the albums, I think this is the favorite one we've reviewed so far. So
probably the one with the questions. What is it? No more questions. Probably that one. Honestly, I found this album to be like very fun,
mhm.
but I don't know if I would if I could like really go like sit down and listen to it again. It was very fun and very funny though. It was entertaining for sure.
Yeah, for me, well, I already have some of these songs on my playlist. Obviously, Nobody Move. You know, my favorite track on the whole album. Radio, No More Questions. I mean, obviously, those are already like not in my heavy rotation, but they are on my playlist. And Boys in the Hood as well. All right, but you heard what we thought about the album. Now it's time to hear what you guys think of the album. What are your thoughts? Anything we missed? What tracks did you like? What tracks did you not like? Please let us know in the comments. For Wondrous Netta, I'm Justin Reed, aka Too Tall for You Fool, saying thank you for watching or listening to episode number 7 of Listen in 3D. We will catch y'all on the next episode. Later.